From Benilde-St. Margaret's High School in St. Louis Park, it's time for a parochial school battle of powerhouses as the Totino-Grace Eagles visit the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Hupp, alongside my broadcast partner, Joe Basil. And Joe, let's start with the 7th-ranked team in Class 4A, the Totino-Grace Eagles, 2-1 on the season. And it could have been more. They lost a tough game to the top-ranked team in Hutchinson last week, 20-3. Their defense has been playing lights out, but their offense needs to clean things up in terms of turnovers if they want to come out of here with a road victory tonight.
Well, first of all, Bill, it's great to be here with you.
Good to be with you too, Joe. Thanks.
Yeah, and we spoke with the offensive coordinator from Totino pregame, and that's exactly what he said, that you know, they were down at the 1-yard line, I believe, against Hutch, and maybe the 5-yard line, and, you know, couldn't punch it in. And, of course, Hutch is always tough. And if you don't capitalize on those opportunities, then you lose the game 20-3.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Benilde-St. Margaret's comes in with a record of 1-2. They've played a really tough schedule, losing 2 straight close road games to Byron and Ricori. And they've got a really talented group of receivers, but those receivers dropped a couple passes in the end zone, so they have some things to clean up offensively themselves if they hope to even their record at 2-2.
Right, and we talked to Coach McMenemy, and of course he's a kind of an old school air raid guy, and he just frankly said, yes, we're going to sling it around. Really, really high on his receivers and his quarterback. I did notice, though, one of the stats for his quarterback, he does have 7 TDs, but he also has 5 interceptions. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that tonight.
Yep, it should be an interesting one. Which team can make more plays? They're both loaded with talent, and we'll get to that, but both battling injuries as well. Should be an interesting matchup between private school powerhouses. That's coming up next here from St. Louis Park on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
From the McQuinn Athletic Complex on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's, Totino-Grace won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they will have the AD's kid, Tanner Smith, the former soccer player turned field goal kicker, and he'll kick off from the 40-yard line to Benilde-St. Margaret's, wearing the red and white. Totino-Grace in their traditional navy blue white jerseys, gold lettering and trim. Joe Basil, Bill Hupp, set to kick it off here between these two teams.
With his wind at his back there, Bill.
And he gets a booming leg into it. It's received at the 8-yard line, and they're bringing it on out. Jabari Strader along the sideline. A flag flies in at the last minute. So we'll see if this is a hold, but Benilde-St. Margaret's in their aerial attack, like you said in the pregame, the air raid coming out on offense first tonight.
Yeah, nice little job of breaking the tackle there, but we're going to see, might be the hated block in the back. Sometimes, you see that on special teams.
Nirvan Yogaraja, the quarterback tonight.
We got a hold.
And it is a hold on Benilde-St. Margaret's. So 6 seconds into this game, we've already got our first penalty on the kickoff. You can see it on the edge there. Number 7 knew he'd been held.
Not Kelly, not Gabby, because Gabby's going to be down there.
So that is a spot foul, marches it back inside the 20-yard line. And that is where they'll take over 1st and 10 on their own 19 with their first drive of the game.
Kind of a 2-by-2 situation here, Bill. See if they come out slinging like they talked about. There we go.
Yogaraja to the far side, and he's not on the same page as his intended target. He was looking to get it out to Max Kloss, the junior wide receiver, but the pass is incomplete. Nirvan Yogaraja, 615 yards in the air, 7 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions. So he's not been helped by his receivers. They dropped 3 would-be touchdown passes in the shutout loss to Ricordi last week. On 2nd and 10, over the middle, he's got his man at the 30-yard line, into the open field, down the sidelines. He's got one man to beat, and he will go all the way. 81 yards for Khalif Brown, his 4th touchdown of the season. And that big play offense, Joe, goes to work right away.
Right off the bat. And what acceleration here, Bill, as we sure we'll probably see the replay on this. The acceleration of the young man, Khalif Brown, was impressive.
Just a crossing route.
Yep.
And he did all the rest. Caught it at the 30, 70 yards of yak right there for Khalif Brown. Incredible.
Found a hole in the zone and just took it from there. What a way to start.
Benilde scores 24 seconds into this football game. They take the early lead as the extra point is banged through. See the replay right here. Nothing fancy, Joe.
No, nothing fancy. Pretty good pass protection. And then, as I said, Khalif takes it from there. 20 had a late shot at him, but couldn't get it done.
Yep. A diving tackle attempt, but stepped out of the reach. And Khalif Brown now has on the season 18 catches for 365 yards and 4 touchdowns make that.
Yeah, wow, what a weapon.
What a weapon indeed. Talking to Coach McMenemy before the game, he talked about how talented his receiving group was, and it came to fruition there. 7-0. Benilde-St. Margaret's takes the early lead.
Yeah, they didn't let that early penalty bother them at all, did they? They just rebounded from that quite nicely.
Yogaraja 1 for 2 for 71 yards and a touchdown already. Meanwhile, Totino-Grace will receive the kick. Markel Ketton and Vince Zurich back deep to receive for the Eagles. End over end kick. Zurich from his own 8. He's got a big hole, cuts back in the middle, and then he's plastered down, but not before he gets it out across the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
that is where Totino-Grace will take over 1st and 10.
Nice little lane there. They looked like they had a return right set up, and he saw a bit of a lane to his left and took advantage of it.
81-yard touchdown pass to start things. They were on their own 19 and an 81-yard touchdown strike to Khalif Brown to open things up. And so now, Will Brands and company go to work for Totino-Grace. Brands, a 6'3" senior quarterback. Gets it to Keaton on the jet sweep. He stiff arms a man. And finally dragged down into his own sideline at the 40-yard line, but a nice pickup of 8 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, nice job, as you said, on the jet sweep. On the jet sweep, and showed a little acceleration. Kind of broke a little tackle there at the end and sets him up with, this is the offensive coordinator's dream, of course, 2nd and 2.
Brands is being recruited by a number of schools, but not necessarily for quarterback. He's a really good basketball player. Brands and Tyler Wagner, who we'll see. Wagner split out wide left. A little trickeration, and Justin Kuharski picks up the 1st down yardage as he dives into Benilde-St. Margaret's territory. He's down at the 49.
Yeah, this time.
And another nice gain of this time of 11. Look at the trickeration here.
Yeah, this time they showed you jet sweep, and then they give it to their big back for plus yardage and the 1st down. Now we're going to see some different styles here. Right off the bat, as we talked about pregame, Benilde's going to sling it around, and Totino's probably going to pound and ground a bit.
They have the offense to do that. Noah Hill, a 3-year starter, to the right of Brands. He fakes it to Kuharski, keeps it himself, and he is down for a short gain of 3 to the 46. Brands.
Yeah, pretty much any offense they'll take 4 yards. They're not going to complain about a 4-yard gain at all.
Not at all. That's a decent pickup on first down. They call it a 3-yard rush. So it leaves it 2nd and 7 now from the 46.
Kind of a double wing situation here, Bill.
Hill gets the call. Plows on forward, crawling over his defenders or his his teammates. That's what I was trying to say. And he gets down inside the 45. Gain of 4, sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, nice little push from the Totino O-line. As you said, sets up a bit of a 3rd and short situation.
Joe, how about this? 4 rushes, and all 4 have gone to different running backs for Totino-Grace. So 4 different guys have carried the ball so far.
Spread the ball around, right? Spread the ball around.
3rd and 3 from the 43. This time a give to Kuharski. Big hole on the right side. He breaks a tackle, slips another one, and he's forced out of bounds down near the 30. It's way more than he needed for a first down. Move the chains as he's down after another gain of 11.
Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? I mean, move the change, get the first down, and Totino's got some real rhythm going into their offense right now.
5 plays, 5 runs, and you can see what they're trying to do offensively, Joe. Like you said, ground and pound. Traditional I formation now lined up behind Brands, who will go under center from the Benilde 32.
Well,
first man through, Noah Hill. Not much. Inside the 30, or maybe at the 30. Pickup of 2.
yeah, nice job there by Riley Murphy from Benilde to shut that play down on a real quick hitter from Totino.
And talk about a tale of 2 drives. Benilde's 2 throws, 2 plays, and they had a touchdown. Totino-Grace has been much more methodical and clock chewing with their drive.
Yeah, contrasting styles.
Wagner, the lone receiver in this bunch formation. Turn and give to Kuharski, and he's ridden down from behind by the senior defensive end, Carson Ray. Ray, the leading tackler on the team, 19 tackles, and you can see why. Comes off that edge position and makes a nice stop.
Real nice stop. Yeah, it looked like a little bit of an inside trap. Totino trying to run their little inside trap. Looked a lot like the play that Eden Prairie hangs their hat on quite a bit.
No gain on the play, so it sets up 3rd and 8 now, and Totino does not want to be behind the chains. Might be the first time we see a pass from this Eagles offense. Nope, turn and give to Kuharski, who slips down, and he's tackled well short of the line to gain. Stop made on the play by the Benilde defender, number 43, Riley Murphy, whose name we've already called a couple times tonight.
Right.
So now 4th and 7 from the 29.
4 down territory here, Bill. So, yep.
9th play of the drive coming up on 4th and 7 from the 29-yard line. Inside of 8 minutes to go here, first quarter. The home team Red Knights lead at 7-0. Brands rolling to his left. Throws on the run. It's a leaping catch made by Wagner, and they'll have enough for the first down. Although Benilde say they forced a fumble, and they do.
They did call it a fumble.
Xavier Lumpkin, the senior quarterback, came out of there on senior night with the football. And I'd love to see a replay as Wagner high-pointed that ball and fell forward.
And had the first down.
But obviously the gang tackling of the Red Knights forced the turnover.
Yeah, nice job of Brand sprinting out there. And
great job by Eddie Wolf of forcing the fumble. Wolf came in there, forced the fumble, recovered by Lumpkin, and a 9-play drive ends with a turnover. So now, once again, Benilde takes over on their own 19.
And Benilde wanting to go fast here, but unfortunately got a procedural call against them.
So second penalty marks them back 5 yards.
It's one of the marks of a air raid offense too. When you get a sudden turnover like that, they like to come out firing right away and line up. And usually the air raid offense calls it a NASCAR situation where they're speeding things up.
So 1st and 15 now from the 14. Totino-Grace calling out the signals. Yoga Raja, I should say, under pressure from the defense. That's Zach Reinhartz, who was forcing the pressure, and some coaching staff is displeased as that was an incompletion. Sets up 2nd and 15.
Sometimes, though, that could be the best throw you can make sometimes. No one's open, coverage, and things are breaking down. Go ahead and throw it into the cheap seats.
And, Jay, what did we talk about in the pregame? The fumbles of Totino-Grace inside the red zone, and obviously that was after they picked up a first down, but it happened again. Big hole up the middle on the first run of the game for Benilde. It's Sean Washington, the senior running back, who gets it out to the 24-yard line, a gain of 10. As he had a lot of room to run there, number 8.
He sure did, and I think we got a little bit of a trap play there. Like a tackle trap situation, and, opened up a nice hole for the young man.
A gain of 10 out to the 24. Sets up 3rd and 5 from the 24. Yoga Raja back to pass. All kinds of time to throw. He slings it. It's low, and he could not complete the pass to Strader. So, decision time. I'm guessing they'll punt it away.
I would think so. That was a pretty tight window there.
Yep, tried to force it in. An 81-yard touchdown pass as you see Strader kind of limping off. 6:44 to go, first quarter. Bill Hupp, Joe Basil, longtime head coach, and among other places, Maple Grove. Thank you for joining us. We're monitoring the weather situation because there are thunderstorms forecasted, but we'll see what happens as DeAndre Mayaka is out there to boot it away, and it's not a very good one. Bounds at the 30 into the Benilde-St. Margaret's bench. And so Totino-Grace, Joe, will have excellent field position to start here.
They will have great field position as he shanked it off his right foot there. And unfortunately for the Red Knights, and fortunately for Totino.
As you take a look at the weather right there, 71 and cloudy. Again, thunderstorms possible later. Winds out of the east-southeast at 8 miles an hour. And so it's kind of like the turnover for Totino never happened. They're sort of back where they were, which is their own, the Benilde, 32-yard line. That's where they take over 1st and 10 after their 9-play drive in the first drive of the game stalled out.
Yep, and special teams is one of those things that's not talked about a lot, but so important.
Kuharski, first carry up the middle. He drives forward inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line, or 28 maybe, gain of 4.
Kuharski, a hard runner. That's been established in the game already. They like to go to him.
Yeah, he's a big guy. There's a lot of size on this Totino-Grace team. Of course, Benilde also with a lot of size, and two of their big guys, DeJohn Yarborough, the 6'4", 325-pound freshman nose tackle, not in there. Neither is Judah Johnson-Nixon, one of their junior defensive tackles, as whistles stop play, and it looks like a procedure penalty on Totino.
There's that little inside handoff that they tried earlier, Bill, and got some movement here.
And it is illegal procedure or false start. So 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd and 11. And you could just see number 56 got going a little early. Cooper Zito.
Yeah, that would be kind of a G power situation with their guard.
Give to Keaton on the inside handoff. He's tripped up, dragged down by the ankles by Eddie Wolf at the 25-yard line, but a decent little gainer.
Yep, and they come right back to it, basically. Just come right back to it.
Keaton, they're really excited about him. That's an 8-yard rush. Makes it 3rd and 3 now from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he showed some nice quickness there, didn't he? Hit that hole nicely.
Yeah, and it's always nice, right, when you can go kind of thunder and lightning. You got a Kuharski, sort of big physical runner, and then the speed of Keaton.
That's exactly right.
Send Kuharski in motion. Fake to him. Brands goes right up the gut. lowering the shoulder. And you can tell Benilde trying to force more turnovers and get the ball out. Xavier Lumpkin was looking to rip that out of Brand's hands, but he picks up more than enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 8.
Yeah, nice.
It's 1st and 10 inside the 20.
Nice job by Brands picking up that first down. First guy and then the second guy in trying to strip.
Yep, Eddie Wolf has had a nice game already. He forced the fumble and made the tackle right there. Call it a gain of 7 officially. First and 10 now from the 18.
Back in that I formation again, Bill. And unbalanced to the right.
Give it to Kuharski. Follows his blockers, but had a big hole. Again, Eddie Wolf coming up from his linebacker spot to make the stop, but not before Kuharski gets it inside the 15. Call it a gain of 6 or so. And again, Totino-Grace, time of possession, it can only tell you so much, but they have controlled the ball so far.
They really have. They really have. They're just chewing clock.
So a 5-yard rush there for Kuharski. Just the one pass.
One wide out here.
Inside of 4 minutes to go here from the McQuinn Athletic Complex. Keaton gets the call, breaks a tackle. Keaton going to the end zone, and he's torn down just shy of it at the 2. Nice job by Khalif Brown in on the stop.
Came back to that. Came back to that jet play that they ran earlier in the game, Bill, and it's really making money for them.
Yep, indeed it is. Riley Murphy actually in on the stop as he sprinted away from a hustling Carson Ray, and Murphy dragged him down along with Eddie Wolf. It's funny, Eddie Wolf came in with 5 tackles officially in 2 games. He's already made 5 tackles in this first quarter.
Nice job by Justin Kuharski on downfield blocking there to lead the way on that.
Kuharski gets the call on 1st and goal, and he charges forward into the end zone with a touchdown. Totino-Grace, an extra point away from tying this football game up here late in the first quarter, and they did it the way they know best, on the ground.
On the ground, yep. Nothing fancy. Here we come. Let's see if you can stop us.
After Keaton's run of 11 yards, Kuharski pounds it in from 2. And Tanner Smith on to attempt the extra point. He hasn't missed one all year. As we said, the athletic director's son, who has an excellent leg, and he splits the uprights there to tie this football game at 7. Joe, what stood out to you from that touchdown drive for Totino-Grace as we take a look at the game-tying score?
Well, first of all, I think they definitely took advantage of the short field. And didn't squander that. And they are who they said they were going to be. They're going to line up and just try to knock you off the ball.
Yep, they did exactly that, and their touchdown with 3:19 to go has tied this game. A 2-yard touchdown run by Justin Kuharski. We talked about the offensive struggles for both teams coming in.
Lights.
Yeah, just talk to him and see if he can figure it out. So Totino-Grace will kick off.
We get some lights.
After the game is tied at 7. And now we've got some flags flying in. Can you turn the lights on, please? Oh, right there. Yeah, thanks, man. So flags have flown here. After a little bit of extracurriculars off the kickoff. And we'll see how these flags are sorted out. Benilde has had 2 penalties called on themselves, and Totino-Grace just the 1. The lack of a ref mic does not help. So personal foul called on Benilde-St. Margaret's.
Personal foul is
So already 3 penalties for, by my unofficial count, 30 yards.
Seems like every Benilde drive has started with a penalty, Bill. And
yeah, they've started behind the chains as they're back at their own 10-yard line. Yogaraja to throw on first down, and he bounces it in there. Yogaraja has been a little inaccurate so far.
Yeah, a little off his game so far.
As he has completed the one pass for an 81-yard touchdown.
Right.
But otherwise, he is, by my count anyway, 1 for 5.
And it looked like on that one, from a quarterback coach perspective, he just needed to step into it just a little bit more. They're empty this time, Bill.
And they throw on second down, connection made. And that's going to be enough for a first down as Yogaraja finds it to Max Kloss for a Red Knights first down.
They're definitely working the middle of Totino's defense, aren't they? I mean, that's...
And they're moving quickly, too, as they hustle up to the line. Ball's on the 25. It's a 15-yard gain.
Here they go empty again in that NASCAR situation where they like to go quickly. Tempo. Oh.
Totino-Grace thought they saw a false start, and that is what's going to be the call. We think. If it is, false start on the Red Knights. So, again, fourth penalty of the first quarter.
Yeah, we hope they don't get into this routine, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's not a good situation to be in. That's not a good program.
No, got to clean up the mistakes. We talked about it with Sean McManamy before the game.
We sure did.
First and 10, or first and 15 rather, from the 20. Catch is made out there. First time we've called the name of Luke Guggenberger, his 10th catch of the season. He makes the catch.
Yeah, Luke has a couple of TDs this year. They tried him on the bubble or the hot screen there, but Totino was all over it.
Tyler Hand made the tackle after a gain of 5. So operating from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Low snap, Yogaraja looking left, throwing. It's over the leaping defender, and he makes the catch. The connection made to Max Kloss. And again, they're hustling up to the line.
Very nice job by Yogaraja there getting it. The receiver was actually bracketed, and he dropped it right in there.
Dropped the bucket over the leaping defender, number 33 for Totino-Grace. Silberg, rather.
Now we have a 3rd and short situation here.
So 3rd and 1, we'll see if Sean Washington gets the call on 3rd down. Gain of 9 on that pass. And this time he takes it. Sean Washington snowed under. And it's going to set up decision time. Nice play made by, among others, Adam Molitor.
Yep, looks like they're coming out with their punt team there.
4th and 3 for the Red Knights after that loss of 2.
It was almost like Totino was saying, okay, looks like 3rd and short. Looks like they're going to run the ball, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, maybe that would have been a good time to pass.
Exactly.
Mayak gets the punt away. Camped underneath it, making the fair catch at the 30-yard line. Keaton drops it there, and that's where Totino-Grace will take over after their last drive resulted in a touchdown. This time they start in their own territory at their own 30 after the punt.
Yeah, in that last series, I liked what Benilde was doing there with their empty situation. They were making money with it, and as you said, might have been a good idea to extend that one more play.
Big Noah Hill lined up in the backfield. As we have Jake Person out there under center. And Person turns and gives to Hill, and Hill charges up the middle, out past the 35, down to the 37. So Person in at quarterback for Brands. We'll see if Brands makes a reappearance.
Yeah, and with this offense, I'm not trying to mitigate what the quarterback does, but with that pound and ground, game manager is kind of the order of the day sometimes.
Person turns and gives to Kuharski, steps out of an ankle tackle of Khalif Brown. Or beg your pardon, the ankle tackle of Jay Kellogg. And he gets it out to the 40-yard line, sets up a 3rd and 2.
Yep, 3rd and very short.
2-yard rush on that play as the first quarter has come to an end here at the McQuinn Athletic Complex. An entertaining first quarter, big plays and long extended drives. But after one quarter of play here in St. Louis Park, Totino-Grace and Benilde-St. Margaret's knotted at 7 here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Totino-Grace student section on hand, wearing the Hawaiian shirts tonight. Good crowd on hand, period. Not a far drive from Fridley, these two teams. Totino-Grace, Joe, has dropped down from 6A to 4A and renewed their rivalries with such teams like Hutch. And I think it's a good thing. It's a good move for everyone.
I think it has been a real good move for them. And their schedule isn't, as their offensive coordinator said before the game, schedule's not really a light one.
Not at all. Justin Kuharski on 3rd and 2 gets enough for the first down out to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. And so move the chains once more for Totino-Grace. It's already the 5th first down of the first half that they've picked up.
Kuharski really is the bell cow, isn't he, for this offense? Yep. Turn and give it to him.
They have attempted one pass, and that resulted in a fumble, ironically enough. Jake Person, the junior, still out there. Person ran the offense a little bit last year, so he's not new. Markel Keaton gets the call on first down, and he's dragged down by an ankle tackle by Slater Crandall, or that could have been more. But he gets it inside Benilde's territory down to the 46.
Yeah, and Keaton showing some real quickness, I think, and they love that jet play with him, don't they? I mean, they're coming back with that jet play right, left.
Yep. They do not. They'll go either side with it, and it's been effective. So an 8-yard rush for Keaton gets it down to the 46 of the Red Knights. And Totino-Grace, they feel like if they just take care of the football, Joe, they can have success on offense because they can move that ball.
They really can. And they can keep Benilde's offense off the field with this pound and ground situation.
Play fake, Person going up top. He's got a man down there. Keaton makes a tremendous catch. Tiptoeing the sidelines inside the 15-yard line. And that wasn't Keaton. That was actually Xavier Lumpkin. No, beg your pardon. Xavier Lumpkin was defending, and Keaton hauled it in.
Just as we're talking about the run game, they go on the go route.
What a catch.
What a catch by Keaton.
Tapped his toes on the sideline. They're going to mark him out at the 10, which is generous, but give him 36 yards on that pass play.
And they're calling it 1st and 10 here as opposed to 1st and goal.
Yep. Up the middle. Good gain on first down by Kuharski.
Actually, after the handoff, they showed a little bit of option football on that one, so we'll have to see later on if they come back to that.
Gain of 5 on first down,
which they will take every time.
So, yeah, I believe it is 2nd and goal because it doesn't look like the chains are set up to where they could get another first down. So the scoreboard not showing it, but 2nd and goal as we see Josiah Young, the cornerback, in there for the first time tonight. Person gives it on the sweep to Kuharski, and he's stacked up and driven down. Number of Red Knights in on the stop, including Dylan Warner, the big sophomore defensive lineman.
Nice job by Warner to come up and stop that before Kaharski could get rolling.
3rd and goal from the 3 now. 2 down territory, you would think.
I would think so. I would think so.
Kuharski has gotten 4 carries on this drive. Senior night here in St. Louis Park. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Person still in there, quarterback.
Yep, Person back to pass. 1-step drop, looking for Wagner, and he hauls it in for the touchdown. Tyler Wagner, the big 6'5" target, makes the leaping catch on the fade route, and Totino-Grace takes its first lead of the game.
Back shoulder fade, beautiful ball by Person. Back shoulder fade, it almost looked too easy, didn't it? Wow,
yep.
That was very, very, very nice. Set up his receiver.
Yeah, back shoulder fade indeed. Tyler Wagner from Person. Wagner, a basketball star, but also can play a little football. And he's had the 2 lone catches of the night for Totino-Grace. They've gone to the air when they've needed to. Otherwise, it's been ground and pound. And offensively, Joe, I've been very impressed tonight with how the Eagles look as we see Person just the 1-step, back shoulder fade. Xavier Lumpkin was on the coverage, but he couldn't do enough. Nice job of high pointing it by Wagner.
I think a little bit of a peeking into the backfield by Lumpkin on that. And I think that that's what allowed Wagner to create some space.
So Wagner redeems himself for fumbling on the opening possession. And boy, Joe, if Totino had even settled for a field goal here, they'd be even that much prettier right now.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
Meanwhile, Benilde has to get things going. They, after the 81-yard touchdown strike on their first possession, they have punted the last 2.
Person's done a nice job, hasn't he, coming in there?
Yeah.
He really has.
Person with 2 beautiful beautiful passes. So he's 2 for 2. Khalif Brown comes out with it, and a flag comes flying. 3rd flag of the game on the kickoff return for Benilde.
Right.
If it is indeed on the Red Knights.
It's kind of been, so far, it's just been a kind of their Achilles heel. I mean, they, as I said, it seems like every drive of theirs starts with the yellow laundry, which is not good.
Block in the back. Yep. Listen to their starting field position, Joe. Their own 19, their own 19, their own 10. And now this is going to, again, be back around their 10 as Brown started returning it. And there's all kind of... And there's the block in the back. Just not necessary.
And there's all kind of percentages that when you start inside your 20, how likely it is that you're really going to go the field and score.
Yep. Ball officially on their own 8-yard line. As the first carry goes to Washington, he's stacked up and driven down.
Yep. Not a bad call. You got to be a little bit more conservative down here. Be careful. Take care of the football.
So 2nd and 10. Did they give him a couple?
Yeah, he got a couple.
Yeah, I guess they gave him a couple.
He got a couple.
Even though the PA guy said no gain. So 2-yard rush, Washington. This time he's driven down. Great pursuit to the football by Michael Strong, the junior inside linebacker. Also in on the play, among others, Sil Berg.
Mike met him right in the hole, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did.
Right
that was a no gain.
Michael right in the hole. He almost got there at the same time that the ball did.
So we're ticking down to around 8 minutes to go, but Benilde-St. Margaret's, unless they can move the chains here, they are risking another 3 and out as the ref stops play with 8 minutes left. And I think they're saying that Benilde made a substitution as Jaden Daisy. Well, or whoever's wearing number 81, listed as Jaden Daisy. But that guy doesn't look 5'11", 295 to me. So.
Me either. Yeah.
At any rate, he has to go off the field.
And they bring Sean Washington back on.
3rd and 8. Yoga Raja looking right, now rolling to his right, throwing, and he's got his man along the sideline. Guggenberger makes the catch at the 22-yard line, and that gain is enough to move the chains.
That's huge. That's huge. Really nice job by Yoga Raja to extend this play and keep his eyes downfield, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for that receiver.
Tackle made on the play by Vince Zurich, the junior strong safety, so move the chains for Benilde.
They do spread the ball around.
Washington on first down, and he's dragged down from behind, and Strong once again makes the tackle. It's a loss of 2 back to the 20.
Yeah, so far they're making Michael Strong look like all conference here on this series.
Well, he's just shooting that gap.
Yes, he is.
2nd and 11 officially. They give him back to the 21. And just look how he sheds his blocker, gets in, and drags down Washington from behind. Benilde has not had a ton of luck. Now a flag flies in. Benilde seems to think it's on Totino-Grace.
Yeah, they're looking that way, aren't they?
Encroachment on Totino-Grace.
Is that the first penalty on Totino tonight?
Second penalty of the night.
Okay.
So both 2 penalties from 10 yards now. So it makes it 2nd and 6 from the 26. And the pass complete out across the 30. Jabari Strader makes the catch and moves the chains once more.
Nice little job of swinging the ball outside, and a nice hookup, a little pitch and catch there.
Yep, just get him, and then blocking on the outside. Well done by Max Kloss.
Yep, Kloss did a nice job of stock blocking. Pick up that first down.
Sorry, Joe, neither team has taken a timeout yet. 1st and 10 from the 34. Washington with a big hole. And he manages to gain positive yardage out to the 40-yard line before he's dragged down by Zach Reinertz.
And this is exactly what Benilde wants to do. They want to get, they want to play a little bit of complementary football from time to time and get that rhythm going again. And all about tempo for Benilde right now.
Sean McMenemy, of course, longtime coach at De La Salle. Now went and coached down south a little bit and then came back and has taken over this Red Knights program that is loaded with talent. He estimates they have, Joe, 8 to 9 Division I caliber juniors. And
he's very high on that junior class, wasn't he?
Coach is just drooling over this freshman nose tackle, Dejan Yarborough, who unfortunately broke his leg in his last game against Byron in the 4th quarter.
It's a nice job by Yoga Raja there. That play in the air raid offense is called the freeze play, where you try to pull the D lineman off, and you hope somebody's not watching the ball, and that's exactly what happened. Totino comes across, gives them an easy 5.
2nd offside of the drive. 3rd penalty for 15 yards. Nice job, nice move by Khalif Brown. Breaking tackles, he runs away, rips out of Josiah Young's grasp, and now he's finally driven down after a hard-earned 9 inside of Totino-Grace territory.
Real nice job of Khalif Brown. Yards after the catch, huh?
Sure was, yeah.
Yep.
Brown now with 3 catches. Of course, the big one to start the game went for 81 yards and a touchdown.
Yep, little play action, get it out to Khalif.
Just puts his foot in the turf and made a couple miss.
Yep. Some arm tackling by Totino, and he took advantage of that, didn't he?
Not quite enough for a first down, though, so it's 2nd and 1 as we're down inside of 5 minutes to go before halftime.
Not a bad time to maybe go downtown. We'll see what they do.
Yogaraja looking that way. He's chased down from behind and sacked.
That wasn't in the plan, I'm sure.
Noah Januszka, the junior inside linebacker, shot the gap, and Yogaraja had no time. It's a loss, Joe. It's a loss of 11 yards.
Yeah, he just had no time to even get rid of it. And, yeah.
First sack of the game for either team. Have not called Januszka's name tonight, but he tracked Yogaraja down before he even had time.
Boy, he really did. He was on him.
So 3rd and 12. That could be a monster play as the ball's back at the Benilde-St. Margaret's 43, and now we have a whistle and another penalty flag on the far side.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see where this. It looks like it's going to go again.
False start on Benilde. Yep.
Yeah. How many penalties on them tonight already, Bill?
6 by my count.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not a good trend.
Including 3 on the kickoff. That one marches them back and makes it even tougher. 3rd and 17.
The playbook gets awfully thin at 3rd and 17.
Yogaraja back to pass. He's flushed. He manages to escape. Molitor trying to track him from behind. A flag comes flying in. Most likely holding.
I'm thinking
and
hold.
If that's the case, Totino-Grace will surely decline it.
Yep, I'm definitely thinking hold. He tried his best to extend that play, but
and he did a nice job, but
yeah.
Benilde has not turned the football over, been played with drops. It's been penalties.
It's really been penalties
that have hurt them.
Although
Although this one's
nemesis.
tough on the offensive line when you have to block for this long of a play. In fairness, Molitor was, you see, tracking him from behind. So the penalty is declined by the Eagles, and Benilde-St. Margaret's will punt. As Mayaka is out there to punt it away.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job of holding Januszka on that. He was
Yeah. Well, Januszka's been a terror out there, so I'm not surprised.
Well, we'll see if Benilde can flip the field here a little bit.
Markel Keaton back deep to receive for the Eagles. They nearly block it, but a good punt. Bounds at the 32. Keaton will get away from it, and the Red Knights touch it up at the Totino-Grace 27, and the Eagles will have 3:39 with which to work. They've got all 3 of their timeouts.
Yeah, so they're in pretty good shape. We'll see what quarterback comes out. As we said, Jake Person has done a nice job. We're not exactly sure what's up with Will Brands, are we? But Person's done a nice job coming in there.
Yeah, will it be number 12 or number 11 under center coming out here to start the this drive? It looks like Brands is back in there.
Okay.
So maybe they just rotated Person in for a series, and if they did,
Yep.
it worked out well.
Yes.
So the ball's on the 27-yard line of the Eagles. That's where they'll start 1st and 10.
Person definitely shows he can throw the football too.
Yeah. Jet sweep fake to Keaton. Brands keeps it himself, so if he's injured, they're not protecting him exactly. He does a little 3-yard run on 1st down.
One thing so far about Totino is it's the kind of offense where they have not that many they show you some different looks, but they run a lot of the same plays out of different looks, and sometimes that can be very effective.
Fake to Keaton, give to Kuharski this time, and that sort of that movement really forces a defense to be disciplined, huh, Joe?
That's that little jet reverse that they like. Totino has run that play, Bill, forever.
It's what they do.
That's what they do. That's one of their staples.
3rd and 2 now from the 35. They don't exactly have a big play offense, but if they hustle enough, they could get down in field goal range, try to extend their lead before half. Kuharski cuts it back upfield, makes a couple men miss. Still going outside the 45, down to the 47. What a tough 12 yards, 11 yards picked up by Justin Kuharski.
Really, really tough run. Really tough running there by Kuharski, and made a lot out of didn't look real great in the beginning, did it? He was going to make the sticks, but it didn't look really great for him at the beginning.
Yep, another first down picked up by Totino-Grace as we have exactly 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Clock continues to run as Totino tries to move inside field goal range for Tanner Smith.
And they still have plenty of time. As you said, they have all 3 of their timeouts left. Even with their ground attack, they've got plenty of time.
Kuharski gets the call once more. Stacked up and tackled on the play by Riley Murphy, whose name we've called quite a bit tonight, just shy of midfield. And Totino-Grace will use its first timeout.
And the one thing, too, Bill, that can happen with a run game like this, you just keep pounding the defense, and then all of a sudden you bust one.
Or you pop the pass.
You pop one, yeah. Or you go play action, and the safeties in the corners are cheating up a little bit, and there you go over top.
Again, Totino-Grace, Joe, won the toss and deferred to the second half, so the Eagles will receive the football to start the second half, and if they can come down and score points going into the half and then get it, it's almost like a make-it-take-it situation.
Exactly. Yeah, they're kind of in the old catbird seat right now, aren't they? Down to 2 timeouts, but
the way things are going, and they really have settled down defensively after some sloppy tackling on that 81-yard touchdown strike. But otherwise, they've given up the one big play, and that's been it.
That's been it. Yep, that's been it.
2nd and 7 now from the Totino-Grace 49. Rolling near side, throwing. He's got Wagner. He's tattooed out there. But a nice completion to Wagner. Enough for the first down to the 38-yard line and pick up the 13.
Did he make the sticks on that? I think.
I believe so.
I believe so.
Yeah, he definitely did. Down to the.
Nice.
What did I say? The 38? I beg your pardon. Down to the 43-yard line. But that'll be enough for a first down as they pick up 8.
Nice sprint out by Brands on that.
Wagner, the only receiver who's caught passes tonight. Brands gives it on the jet sweep to Keaton. He's bottled up this time. Good pursuit by the Red Knights, led by number 25, Ryan Brewer.
Yeah, Brewer really tracked that play down, didn't he? I mean, that's one of those deals where you kind of maybe went to the well once too often.
Yeah, I mean,
jet sweep.
Yeah, they have read that play by now. No gain officially. So timeout taken by the Eagles. They're down to 1 remaining.
Yeah, they may have to go to the air here, Bill, to get at least in field goal range at this point. We got a minute 11, but they still have the 1 timeout left. And they could use the sideline, too, as well.
We were tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter, but Totino has scored the only touchdown of the second quarter. A 3-yard TD pass from Person to Wagner.
Got Keaton at the top of the screen, but they're going the other way.
Going to Wagner over his shoulder. A lot of hand fighting, but the flags do not fly for DeAndre Mayaka, who was battling over there with Wagner one-on-one on the edge.
Yeah, I thought they might. I thought they might catch Wagner on this. He's little, but
he was. I mean, he didn't have a step on Mayaka. So
no, he did not.
Mayaka was with him. You really got to. I mean, you just got to use your height advantage, right? If you're Wagner in that instance.
That's right. High point the football.
Exactly, just like he did on that touchdown catch. 3rd and 10 now with 1:07 to go in the half. Little screen to Noah Hill. He catches it in the flat, charges forward. He's close to first down yardage. He's right at it. They'll spot him down. It'll depend on the spot. They'll spot him down at the 33. First non-Totino-Grace player to make a catch besides Wagner.
Yeah, nice, almost like a, as you call it, as kind of a.
It was a screen.
Little slip screen, kind of like a long handoff.
Got him 10 yards. That's all they needed. Now they'll go back to the well with Keaton. No, they'll run it inside with Kuharski, and Benilde is not fooled.
Nope.
Plenty of Red Knights swarm to the football, including Wagner and Kellogg. And now the clock keeps rolling. Benilde, or Totino, I should say, has one timeout remaining after that no gain.
Again, coming back to that little jet reverse, and Benilde, Dylan Warner did a really nice job of staying home on that too.
14 seconds left. They've got to hurry. Kind of a broken play, and Brands takes a sack at the 39, and now Totino has to use their final timeout. Big sack on the play by Kellogg. Great job rushing the quarterback, Jay Kellogg. And it was just kind of looked a little disoriented from the start, Joe.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, we got one offense that's used to using tempo and one, maybe not so much. And I think they got a little disheveled on that one.
Loss of 6 on that play, on that sack. So now, and why the sack hurts so much is you can't even really have Tanner Smith attempt one, and you don't have enough time left.
No, you don't. And you can't really throw anything in the middle of the field, so it's probably Hail Mary time, I would think. Kind of fitting for two parochial schools.
Yep, no doubt about it. So they've got their tall receivers out there in Tyler Wagner and Josiah Young on the near side.
And they got two at the bottom
and
here.
Now you're going to have Benilde take its first timeout now that they've had a look.
Smart timeout. Take a look at what Totino's going to do. I'm a little bit surprised that Totino's not putting maybe a kind of a 2-by-2 situation, you know, for the probably what is going to be a Hail Mary, but maybe that's just not in their playbook.
Yeah, and they'll hopefully get hopefully for them anyway, they'll get some of their taller guys out there, and you just want to teach the kids, right? Bat down the football. What do you teach your players in this instance?
Oh yeah, that's it. Just spike it to the earth, and don't try to be the hero and make the amazing catch or whatever. Just
because sometimes that can bound to the opposition.
It can, yeah, it certainly can, and you got a tip drill situation, and then all of a sudden, Totino's walking in the end zone.
4 receivers out there as Brands goes back to pass. Final play of the half. Brands tracked down from behind and sacked. Great job by Chase Brixius, coming off the edge hot to record his 3rd sack of the season as the first half comes to an end. Very entertaining first half. Benilde goes up early, 2nd play of the game, but it's been all Eagles ever since. At the halftime break here in St. Louis Park, it's Totino-Grace 14 and Benilde-St. Margaret's 7. Halftime analysis, statistics, and more coming up straight ahead from the McQuinn Athletic Complex here on CCX. Back here at Benilde-St. Margaret's, Bill Hupp and Joe Basil, longtime head coach in the area. And a good one, Totino-Grace. His team's tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter, but Totino-Grace drove down and scored a touchdown midway through the second quarter, and they have a 14-7 lead at half as they look to improve to 3-1 on the season, the 7th-ranked team in Class 4A. Let's take a look at first half highlights. And it started early, Joe, with that pass on the second play of the game.
It sure did. Yeah, on that little drag across the middle to Khalif Brown, and as we said earlier, he did the rest.
Yeah, just got to that sideline and made things happen. First pass in the game for Totino-Grace was successful, but the first turnover, the only turnover of the half, forced by the defense of Benilde. But Totino was not deterred. They went to the ground and pound, part of their 115 rush yards in the first half. Justin Kuharski had a lot of those.
Yeah, Mr. Dependable, Mr. Horse, Mr. Bellwether takes it from there.
And then Jake Person came on in relief, and they went through the air a couple times, finally finding Tyler Wagner for the touchdown, and that's where we stand at halftime. As you take a look at the halftime statistics, look at the rushing yards difference, Joe. 115 to 9. And penalties, also a factor for Benilde. 6 penalties for 40 yards.
That's a huge. That's been a huge factor. Like we were saying earlier, it seemed like every time that Benilde started a drive, they had a penalty. So they're working behind the sticks, as you mentioned.
We don't have time of possession numbers, but if we did, it would heavily favor Totino-Grace.
Oh, no doubt about that. And I want to go back to that back shoulder throw though. By Person, that was very, very nice. He put it in a great spot. I mean, his receiver catches it or nobody catches it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Pretty good for coming off the bench cold.
I know.
And coming in and he dropped that one in the bucket to Keaton, as we saw, and then he threw that back shoulder fade.
Coming out of
Tyler
the bullpen
Wagner.
like he did, yes.
Yeah, very impressive. So pretty good for Totino-Grace. Other than that fumble, Eagles have to feel pretty good in Jay Anderson about that first half.
The one thing I did want to mention, Bill, is right at the end of the first half, I thought the Benilde-St. Margaret's defense really stiffened up.
They did.
And, did a nice job. Particularly, we're calling number 55 Dylan Warner's name and number quite a bit. And, they might get some juice for that going in, into the second half. Totino's going to receive the kickoff. But I like what Benilde was doing there, particularly on defense in that last series.
Well, and you notice they got 2 sacks in the last 2 plays of the half, Joe, when Totino had to pass. But if the Eagles can keep it on the ground and use those big guys up front, they've had a lot of success mixing in the different runners.
Right. Yeah, and that's their game, right? That's what we said, for all of the first half. That's their game. So I would suspect that we're gonna go back to the ground pound situation in the second half.
Well, we'll see what they do. They get the ball to start the second half. We'll have that second half for you coming up shortly here from the McQuinn Athletic Complex in St. Louis Park. 14-7, our score at halftime here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
14-7 our score as we get set to start the second half. Bill Hupp, longtime head coach Joe Bassel. And Joe, we've talked about it. It's been a fairly entertaining game. A turnover, some penalties. But Totino-Grace gets the football, and they have to feel pretty confident after the first half display they just put on.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, and as I said as well, I think Benilde might get a little bit of juice from that last stand as well on defense, and it's been a very, very entertaining game. One thing we didn't mention regarding the Benilde defense, Judah Johnson-Nixon is out for the game. One of their big time performers, who's had 5 tackles for a loss. So they probably had to kind of fill that spot a little bit defensively. But I think if Benilde can do away with penalties, they can be in this thing.
DeAndre Mayaka gets us started as he drives a kick all the way back to the goal line. Markel Keaton taking it out. Keaton with a nice return, ushered out of bounds across the 30, out of the 32. That's where Totino will start 1st and 10. But yeah, it's not just Judah Johnson-Nixon. It's also Dejan Yarborough, the 6'4", 325-pound freshman, as well as Will Seymour, 6'3", 215-pound junior linebacker, one of those stud juniors.
Right.
He hurt his ACL celebrating at the end of 7-on-7s a week before practice started.
Oh, my goodness.
Some poor luck for Sean McMenemy and this Benilde-St. Margaret's team.
Yeah.
But it's testing their depth, but their defense has played pretty well this year.
They really have. They really have so far.
1st and 10 for Totino-Grace at their own 35. Kuharski gets the call on 1st down, bouncing off tackles out to the 40-yard line.
Shocker who they give the ball to the first time, huh?
They rushed for 115 in that first half. Pick up another 5 here on 1st down, and that's what Totino-Grace wants to do, Joe, stay ahead of the chains.
That's it. That's exactly what they want to do. Just, milk that clock, keep the ball away from Yoga Raja and that, fairly quick strike Benilde offense.
Kuharski again on 2nd down, picks his way down near the 45, couple yards short, out to the 43.
Number 9 getting up a little bit slower there. Mayaka.
DeAndre Mayaka, who just boomed that kickoff. And he's got to try to limp off the field. Fortunately, some of the games I've called earlier this year, the kids were really struggling with cramps. We have not, thankfully, we have not seen an injury timeout yet tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Mayaka. He's trying to walk it off there. Could be a cramp. Especially early in the season, you seem to see that quite a bit.
Especially when it's still hot out.
Exactly.
Hill with his hand on the ground behind Brands. Turn, and he gets the call, and he gets the 1st down out near midfield, right at midfield. It's a nice pickup of 7. Nothing fancy about it, Joe, just straight up the gut.
Kaharski and Hill, huh? Hill and Kaharski.
Yep.
The two Thunder boys in that offense, and then every so often hand the ball to Keaton
on the jet sweep. Yep.
On the jet sweep, and then the quarterback, on the keeper, and that's nothing fancy.
Been the formula. That has been the formula. It'll be an I formation behind Brands, who goes under center on 1st down from midfield. Kuharski again. This time Benilde not fooled.
Nope.
And not much doing. 2 names we've called a lot tonight, Carson Ray and Riley Murphy, in on the stop for the Red Knights.
Yeah, those are two familiar names that to go along with Chase Brixis and Dylan Warner. Yeah, as I said, I've been kind of impressed with Benilde's defense after after the start of this game a little bit, where they gave up a lot of yards on the ground.
Keaton again on the jet sweep, a big hole. Markel Keaton into the 2nd level, and he's tripped up inside the 10. Eddie Wolf with a game-saving tackle, touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a huge gain of 40 yards on that run.
There's that little inside reverse that they love so well, Bill. Maybe I jinxed the Benilde defense there. I'm not sure. But, there goes Keaton.
Big hole, and he gets to the 2nd level, and a great angle taken by Eddie Wolf to clip the ankles. They mark him down at the 7, so officially a 42-yard scamper right there.
I love the way Keaton hits the hole, Bill.
Oh, he does hard.
Yeah, he does. Now they got him at the top of the screen, one-on-one out there.
1st and goal from the 7. Turn and give right up the gut. And getting short is Noah Hill. He's short at the 2, but a nice gain of 5.
This is exactly what Totino wants to do, isn't it? I mean, they start the second half with the ball, bleed the clock a little bit, chew up yardage, move the sticks, and have one chunk play, and there they are at the doorstep.
3-minute plus drive that started at their own 35-yard line, but this is exactly what Jay Anderson and the Totino-Grace coaching staff wanted. Anderson and McMenemy both in their 3rd seasons in charge. Kuharski dragged down And a great job by Ryan Brewer coming off the edge.
Really nice job.
Stop up Kuharski for a gain of 1.
Really nice job by Brewer. I've been kind of watching him over here. He's got some length to him, and yeah, he really denied the running back there.
3rd and goal. They got Michael Strong in there, the junior inside linebacker playing fullback. Power formation look for Totino-Grace, and they'll just do the old push into the end zone for a touchdown as Will Brands crosses the goal line.
There's the old push play that you're seeing a lot of these days.
Eagles make it famous, and they just got the big beef in there and went behind. And Will Brands, in fairness, is 6'3", so.
Right. All he needs to do is stretch it out just a little bit, right?
Yep. 1-yard touchdown rush by Brands makes it 20-7 now to Totino-Grace.
Yep, this will be a good opportunity to see how Benilde answers. They come back. We know they're going to again, sling it around a little bit, maybe, run it periodically. But yeah, this will be a real good test for Benilde.
Smith splits the uprights with the kick to make it 21-7, and Joe Totino-Grace. I mean, the first half ended with their drive stalling out, but 3 of the last 4 drives have resulted in touchdowns. And not a bad idea to have Brands just go up the gut. And then you don't risk a fumble or anything like that.
No, one guy handling the football. You're exactly right. And that's their game, isn't it? I mean, that's their game. And, when at the end of the first half there, when they kind of were in that sort of Hail Mary situation of throwing the ball, that's a little bit out of character for them. This is totally in character and their trademark.
So Totino-Grace will kick off with a 2-touchdown lead. And Joe, just, the way that things have gone, Benilde got up 7-0 after the second play. It's been all Totino-Grace since. 21 unanswered for the Eagles.
Yep.
As they lead it by 2 touchdowns now. And Tanner Smith kicks off from the 40.
And a nice 4-minute drive by Totino too. You can't really understate that.
Big return here. And a nice job as Jabari Strader was tackled. As we take a look at the last time these two teams met, Totino-Grace put it on the Red Knights 41-10. Kai Barber leading the way with a couple touchdowns. But these two teams, first time they've met in more than 12 years.
Oh, my goodness.
September 9th, 2011, the last 2 times these parochial school powerhouses clashed.
Did not realize that. Did not realize that at all. I remember the name Kai Barber, though. I definitely remember that.
We just featured you in a graphic on TV because you had 85 yards and 2 touchdowns against these guys. That's so funny. I was like, why is this guy looking at me? Sorry, dude. It was on the graphic.
Well, and as so often happens, Bill, guess what?
Speaking of Kai Barber, he's on the coaching staff here. He's sitting next to us in the press box, so still having an impact on this Totino-Grace football team 12 years later. And he still looks like he could strap on the pads and get 100 for you.
He does. He looks like he could at least give you a series anyway.
Oh, man. Awesome.
Benilde starts off in their familiar, let's start off the series with a penalty, Bill.
Well, that's kind of what they've done.
That's kind of what they've done. That's been the trend.
Well, clearly that graphic was meant to be with Kai Barber up here. Tracking plays, and you got to like what he's seen so far from his Eagles as the crossing route is caught at the 11-yard line by Khalif Brown. Tackle on the play made by Josiah Young. Out across the 20 to the 21, so that'll be enough for a first down.
There's that little crossing pattern that they like so well, and it's been effective for them tonight. Khalif he kind of ran out of real estate over there. He's been pretty good at breaking tackles. He didn't just have a lot of real estate to work with on this one.
But again, once again, they start from inside their own 15. The starting field position has just been atrocious tonight, as that one is through the hands of Jabari Strader.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Strader was ready for that one or not. But if he catches it, I'll tell you what, it's going to be some real positive yardage. Yeah, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. You don't want to keep dwelling on that, but boy, it just happens so much tonight to Benilde.
On the 21, 2nd and 10. Low snap, Yoga Raja gets it to Guggenberg. They fly to the football, however, and he does not get much, maybe a yard or two out to the 24. Great job rallying to the football by, among others, Michael Strong, whose name we've called a lot tonight.
We have called it, and they do rally. They do fly to the football. In the air raid offense, that's called a jailbreak screen, but there wasn't much of a jailbreak on that one.
And I think the fact that it was a low snap may have thrown off the timing.
Sure.
As well. 3rd and 7 coming up from the 24.
In the passing game, timing's everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yoga Raja throws quickly, and it's intercepted. Picked off on the play by Will Brands, and he'll return it to the house. His 2nd touchdown in about a minute and a half. This time he scores on defense.
Wow. What a huge play. And Will Brands going both ways. Well, just gets off the field on offense and comes back and contributes that on defense. I'm not sure what Yoga Raja was looking at on that one, because it looked like he was throwing the ball directly to Will Brands, unfortunately.
Will Brands, and I don't know if the receiver just pulled up. We'll take a look at the replay after the extra point attempt. But Totino-Grace has all of a sudden taken complete control of this football game.
Just not on the same page.
No, first turnover of the game on the Red Knights, but it was a costly one.
It really was. And he had such a short distance to go too after he makes the pick.
Tanner Smith on to attempt his 4th extra point of the game. And he splits the uprights with ease, the former soccer player, to make it 28-7 to Totino-Grace. Last time these two teams met, it was a blowout as well, as Yoga Raja, let's see here, looking for Guggenberg, and just not on the same page.
No.
A 29-yard interception return for Will Brands.
It looked like Guggenberger was running just your basic hitch, and Yoga Raja thought he maybe should continue. So, just not sure.
Officially, it was about a minute and 51 seconds between Will Brands' touchdowns here. One on offense and one on defense with that 29-yard pick six.
Oh, yeah, he picked up some. If you got him in your fantasy league, he picked up some points there, didn't he?
Absolutely. Will Brands showing his athleticism in all kinds of ways.
Yep, very versatile.
Brown is back deep to receive along with Strider. And we'll see if the Red Knights can avoid getting a penalty on the kickoff, as they have the first 4 times.
That would be a really good start. That would be a really good start if they could just do that and just go 1st and 10 as opposed to 1st and 15.
This might be cold comfort for Sean McMenemy, Joe, but I will say he does have the offense that maybe could come back from a 3-touchdown deficit.
I agree. A line drive, that should be returnable.
Khalif Brown gaining speed, bursting through a hole. Khalif Brown past the kicker, and he's forced out of bounds. Tanner Smith, a touchdown-saving tackle on a long kickoff return by Khalif Brown.
When I saw that line drive kick, Bill, I thought, this could be Returnsville right here. And Khalif Brown, did a nice job with it.
Look at the burst of speed.
Almost took it to the house.
Yeah, from the 3-yard line, Brown got slow, a little slow, and then he found the hole and he hit it.
Waited for his blocking, which was really nice, I thought. Very patient, using his eyesight. Very good.
So 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 38-yard line, the 59-yard kickoff return.
Well, we'll see if Benilde can give the answer here.
28-7, give to Washington. Strong ropes him down for no gain.
You know, I'm not sure if you would really call that an RPO, because as he's looking to hand the ball off or keep it, I think that was just a straight give all the way, Bill, on that. And
yeah, there was no pass option.
There was no real run pass option there, and Totino was waiting.
Yeah, they fly to the football. I think a really underrated part tonight of this game, people are going to look at the score. I've been very impressed by the Totino-Grace defense as Washington splits them and gets first down yardage, just as I say that, down to the 26.
Right.
Because of course.
Of course. Yeah,
Best run of the night for
they do rally to the football.
And they got big guys up front as well.
Yes, they do.
Big defensive linemen, and including big number 9, Theo Thomas, 6'3", 251-pound defensive end.
You know, we've talked quite a bit about Kuharski, but you know what? Sean Washington, pretty good little back himself.
Yeah, not bad, although, again, Michael Strong there to make the stop, along with number 27, Hans Hardinger, the sophomore. Strong has really lived up to his name tonight at middle linebacker, just flowing to the ball.
Well, we sure have
awesome
you have called his name just so often tonight.
Yeah, he has been everywhere for this Totino-Grace defense. And you look at the schedule for Totino-Grace, they still have some tough games coming up, the likes of Holy Angels and at Orono, at SMB. So
yeah.
They've still got some games to play.
The offensive coordinator was lamenting a little bit about that. You know, yes, they are in 4A, but they got a tough schedule.
They do. Little crossing pattern. Caught out there by Strider. He puts on the brakes. He stood up right at the line to gain. Wagner battling and cannot prevent the first down, however. He's right at the spot, but I think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, nice little job by Strader there. And again, this is vintage or classic air raid. This play, I remember from my air raid days, this is called 62. It's kind of a mesh crossing situation.
Yogaraja from the 15. Again, the crossing route to Khalif Brown. He's got a step, breaks a tackle, and waltzes into the end zone for his second touchdown reception of the game.
Boy, did they need that or what? I mean, that was beautiful. That was just a beautiful drive. You know, on rhythm, on tempo, getting the ball to your playmakers. Beautiful job.
15-yard touchdown pass to Khalif Brown, who has gone well over 100 yards of receiving. Second score of the night for Brown.
Yeah, he's a factor.
Yeah, no doubt about it, he is. As Sam Parker is on to attempt the extra point, and it's blocked. Josiah Young, I believe, got it. So Benilde can only get so much closer. But that young man has had a tremendous night.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And I'm really impressed, like I said, yards after the catch with Khalif, too. He does a really nice job. Good pass protection, too, that time. You know, for Yoga Raja, he wasn't really under any duress there and had a lot of time to find Khalif.
He's got good balance. He can outrun defenders, and he was one of the reasons they were in such good position, because you remember he was the one that had the 59-yard kickoff return to start.
That's correct. Yeah, you can't underestimate what special teams did for that drive.
So Khalif Brown, his second touchdown catch. So we've seen some big plays, Joe, here in the third quarter.
We really have.
Still 4:10 left, and it's 28-13.
And impressed with the fact that sometimes, particularly on an interception, a big interception like Totino did. I'm not saying Benilde is way early in the game to fold your, but sometimes some teams will just fold their tent right there. But I love the way Benilde came up off the deck.
Yeah, great response from Sean McMenemy's kids, and that definitely speaks to the character of his football team. They still trail it, however, by a couple touchdowns, and Totino has a pretty good offense to have when you have the lead.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be power trap right, power trap left, and
Yep.
a jet sweep or two
Yep.
in between. Keaton with a big hole up the middle, puts his foot in the ground, and a great return out across the 40 to the 42.
Boy, he sure set up their offense there, didn't he? My goodness.
Yeah, he did. He sets them up in great field position.
Yep.
Officially about a 32-yard return, 33 yards maybe, as he has them at their own 42. And they, unlike Benilde, have had excellent field position all night long.
Keaton does for Totino what Khalif Brown does for Benilde in a way. You know,
Yeah, very explosive playmakers.
Explosive, hit the hole, yards after run, yards after catch. Usually don't go down on the first tackle. Very similar.
Person back in there at quarterback, and he gives to Keaton. Nice job filling the gap and blowing that play up by number 22, Andrew Walters. One of the co-captains came up and made the play, but Jake Person, we talked about how good he threw the ball when he came off the bench.
Right.
And he is back in there for a series after that loss of 2.
Oh yeah, and that looks like the strategy to give Person, give Person some snaps as well. I noticed that Will Brandt is a senior, Person's a junior. Probably, not a big fan of taking your starting quarterback out, but so far they haven't lost a step with Person.
No, he's pretty capable, and we thought he'd just be handing the ball off, but he actually took to the air through a nice back shoulder fade as he gives it to Noah Hill, and Hill churns his feet down past the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 3.
And that's another vintage Totino play right there. That quick opener, and that's the one when I mentioned earlier, Bill. That's the one that could break. That's the one that could bust, because they'll come back to it. Because when you play Totino, you've got to stop the fullback. That's the whole idea. If you don't stop the fullback, it's going to be a long night.
Josiah Young out there, split out to the near side. Person throws over the middle to his big tight end, Adam Molitor, who catches it right at first down yardage. Tall, lanky receiver is Molitor.
Yeah, that was Kelsey-like, I thought.
Yeah, he's got enough for
Wasn't
the first
it?
down. It really was.
Yeah.
Gain of 10 on that pass play.
In traffic. Yeah. Yeah, Person's very accurate.
Yeah, he is, because Walters was in good position right on the hip of Molitor.
Yeah, he really was.
Inside of 2.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Totino moving the chains.
Very entertaining third quarter it has been. Kuharski fake to him. Person keeps it. Spins off a tackle. Good gain on first down. Down near the 40. Spot him at the 42.
And again, not to beat the proverbial dead, but, they've got basically it's Totino 6 to 8 plays. And although that pitch to the tight end was something we hadn't seen.
True.
But otherwise, run game-wise, it's like, here we go, fellas.
And again, they're ahead of the chain. Second and 5.
Yeah.
Noah Hill, the lone setback with his hand in the ground.
You'd love to be the offensive coordinator in these 2nd and 5 situations.
Yeah, you have your whole playbook available, as they say. Hill driven back, however, shy of the 40. Call it a gain and a half. Call it a gain of 1.5 yards.
Right.
As we're inside of 1.5 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, nice job by Benilde on that, being a little bit stingy on that. They went back to that quick opener play again, that little quick trap that they like to run.
But look how much time, Joe, is getting churned off this clock.
Right. Yeah, it's their friend. It's
No doubt about
it's
it.
definitely their friend, and they play it to the hilt.
3rd and 3. Send Keaton in motion. They'll fake to him. Person will give it to Kuharski, and he is stood up and driven back. Great penetration by the Benilde defense.
Now, they went out of the gun that time, Bill. Is that the first time we've seen that they were out of the gun? I'm not sure. Usually they're under center, correct?
Yeah, normally they are. Wolf and Walters were on the stop, but they've kind of mixed it up tonight for sure. But this is their first punt of the game. First time we'll see them punt, and they'll be able to flip the field is the idea, hoping to pin Benilde-St. Margaret's back inside its own 10, and Benilde won't even send a returner back as they are playing for a potential fake.
Well, and you know what? I think that's really smart because one thing Totino's been known for over the years is their special teams play. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they had a fake called.
Timeout taken by Totino-Grace as we show you our upcoming telecasts here on CCX. Some good ones coming up. That prep volleyball game, couple of top 5 teams there. Powerhouse Wayzata playing rival Champlin Park in a potential section final preview. And then a couple of football games, including Eden Prairie and Wayzata. Wayzata has had a brutal schedule to start the season, and it doesn't get any easier when they host the Eagles. So should be some good action coming up on CCX Sports.
And 2 very well-coached teams.
Yes.
EP and Wayzata.
Yep, no question.
Lambert Brown does a great job out at Wayzata, and, of course, we all know what Mike Grant's done.
Sure do. We sure do. 4th and 4, and it looks like Totino, after taking that timeout, is going to go for it here. With the ball resting on the 41-yard line of Benilde.
You know, and with this run game or with their short passing, intermediate passing game, I'm not sure it's a bad idea at all. You're sitting on a 28-13 lead.
Nope, they're going to pooch punt it instead, and Brands gets his leg into that one. It bounds at the 5. Great decision as it'll be touched up at the 4-yard line. It hit at the 9, rolled down to the 4. And the Red Knights, again, backed up in the shadow of their goal line.
Boy, you know, as so often happened tonight, right? As it's been happening so much tonight. Although the last series, they did not have a first down penalty.
Nope, but this time they once again are backed up. We'll see what they can do as we start the 4th quarter. Totino-Grace leads it 28-13 on CCX. Start of the 4th quarter back here from the McQuinn Athletic Complex in St. Louis Park on senior night. Not going well for the Red Knights, though. Totino-Grace adding 2 more touchdowns, both courtesy of Will Brands, as the Red Knights go to work from their own 4-yard line. And for the 3rd time tonight, Totino-Grace jumps off sides. Michael Strong can't believe it. That defensive line, they just want to get after it.
They do. There's that freeze play again, coming at a perfect time. That Coach McMenemy, a nice job of making it a little easier for his offense, and as you say, trying to work away from the shadow of their own goal line.
Totino-Grace has scored 7 in the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and 14 in the 3rd quarter. So they've been nothing if not consistent in terms of offensive touchdowns, and they have that defensive score as well. Great job shedding his block there by number 54 for Totino-Grace, Zach Reinhardt. We've called his name tonight, and he stops up Sean Washington after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, that play was a little bit doomed right from the beginning, wasn't it? I mean, Totino was just waiting for Washington on that one.
Well, Reinhardt, I'm still going to say he made a nice play, but actually that was a gain of 7 out to the 11. So a little bit of breathing room. And, I've been impressed with Sean Washington running the football tonight as well.
Yep.
He's a big kid.
He is a big kid. He's very well put together.
Yeah, it'd be tough to bring him down. Listed at 5'8", 187, which is low to the ground. But Reinhardt's again in on the stop.
Nice low center of gravity by Washington, right?
Yeah, for sure. But great pursuit there for Totino-Grace by Januska, among others. But look how thick. I mean, he's just a thick running back. And if he can keep that pad level low, I think it would be very difficult to tackle.
Very much so.
So they're going to give him the spot. So 1st and 10 from the 14. after he got just enough to move the chains.
Yep.
And
that was a
interesting
big
that they're
one.
keeping it on the ground, considering that they trail, and that might be why, as Yoga Raja was pressured immediately by Totino-Grace and nearly threw another pick, overshooting Guggenberger.
Trying to set up that jailbreak screen that they ran before, Bill. Only this time, Yoga Raja kind of, sailed it.
Yep, no doubt about it. 10:47 remaining in the game. Benilde, a really critical drive, right, if they want to have any shot at keeping this close. Trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Well, at minimum, you definitely want to, get at least 2 or 3 first downs and do the field position game a little bit.
Crossing route to Khalif Brown. He splits defenders, gets the first down. Finally, still on his feet.
Wow.
You can never assume a tackle on him. Vince Zurich, I thought, had roped him out of bounds, and he kept going outside the 35. He has been the most impressive player offensively tonight for the Red Knights.
He really has. I'll tell you, he doesn't give you much to hit either. I mean, he keeps moving and sideways, and like I said, those yards after the catch, very impressive.
6'1", 185-pound junior from the 36. Out to Strader, makes a couple men miss. They're getting a lot of yards after catch.
Yes, they are.
And it's pretty impressive, as that one gains 9 out to the 35.
Yeah, I mean, and remember where this drive started too. I mean, it was literally about the 2, 3, 4 yard line. So they're picking up some tempo, picking up some rhythm here now, Bill.
That was a hard-fought gain of 22 that we just saw from Khalif Brown. And now we're out to the 45 now. This drive, as you said, Joe, started on their own 4-yard line. Clock is not their friend right now, but they are at least picking up yards.
Yes, they are.
And they face a 2nd and 1 now from their own 45. And again, they flip the field at this point. Yoga Raja airs it out down the left side of the field, looking for Khalif Brown. Josiah Young in on the coverage, but it was well over his intended receiver.
I was just thinking at some point they are probably going to have to go vertical, with their passing game a bit. And 9 minutes can be an eternity in a way, but what do we got here? They're 15 points behind.
Yep. They
couple
need
of
2
scores.
scores and a 2-point conversion.
Right.
And that's assuming that they can hold Totino-Grace off the scoreboard themselves.
Exactly.
It's the way the Eagles have been moving the football tonight. That's got to make Jay Anderson feel real good, because his team struggled offensively the last couple games. Crossing route caught. Benilde actually, before that touchdown, had been held off the scoreboard for the last 6 quarters. But that
Mr. Dependable Max Close there, right?
Touchdown, yep. Max Close on the crossing route, caught it at midfield. Enough for the first down as he's tackled at the 45. Pickup of 10.
Yep, little nickel and dime offense here by the air raid. That's okay, though, moving the sticks.
That's what I was going to say. It's been crossing routes tonight.
Yeah,
Joe.
it
has
has
not been vertical.
No.
Crossing routes have killed Totino-Grace tonight as they flip it to Khalif Brown out of the reach of Theo Thomas, and somehow he makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, there really wasn't much there, was there?
Not at all. He was dead to rights in the backfield, and Theo Thomas is not a small guy. Says something about the strength. Out of the grip of Thomas, out of the grip of Strong.
Yeah,
breaking
Khalif.
A lot of tackles.
Yeah, Khalif is he's very slippery, very, very, very tough little runner.
Technically considered a pass. 2nd and 7 now. Yoga Raja.
Yep.
So Khalif Brown just sits down in the middle of the zone and moved the chains once more.
Yep.
As he has moved it from the 42 down to the 30.
Nice ball, nice pitch and catch by 2 of the stalwarts of the Benilde offense.
And after starting on the ground, they have gone back to the air exclusively. And Khalif Brown, not surprisingly, has been the target.
And I think Totino calls a timeout.
Yep.
Regroup a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Totino-Grace takes a timeout, but this drive is taking clock.
It is. It is.
So Totino's got to be okay with that. But, yeah, they their pass defense, and you can see that maybe some of their linebackers especially a little gassed. They've been getting after it tonight.
Yeah. Hands on the hips, bending over a little bit. Yeah. And then it'll fall to, assuming Benilde can get in, it's going to fall to Benilde's defense to get off the field.
Yeah, make a stop. And Totino-Grace, meanwhile, just wants to pick up first downs, keep that clock moving. And it's interesting with Totino-Grace, too. You do see a couple kids go both ways. Same with Benilde. The depth just not as strong, at a Totino-Grace as it is for like 6A programs that they used to play, right?
Right.
Like a Maple Grove. You just have more numbers.
That's right.
And that's what the offensive coordinator was talking about when we spoke to him before the game.
It is a numbers game.
From the 31-yard line, Yoga Raja airs it out, looking deep for Guggenberger, and he just threw it behind him.
Yeah.
Zurich on the coverage. And the timing of that play just looked off.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? They just weren't syncing up.
Just the second incompletion, but it'll make it 2nd and 10 now from the 31. Guggenberger looking befuddled.
He is a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised too, because Yoga Raja definitely has the arm. For that.
He does.
Left that a little short. I don't know if that was going to be like maybe a vertical stop or whatever. But anyway, those two get on the same page.
It's turned into a beautiful night for football. The rain is held off. Yoga Raja looking left, airing it out, and flag flies. As I believe Josiah Young will get hit with a pass interference call guarding Khalif Brown.
Well, now they're starting to go vertical, aren't they?
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Maybe they should have done it sooner.
Possibly, yeah. They're looking for those chunk plays now with 8 minutes to go.
And Khalif Brown, again, their big play man, as he has been all night, more than 200 all-purpose yards and 2 receiving touchdowns.
He is a valuable weapon for them, and should hold them in good stead going forward too.
Oh, wow, they're taking the flag away, so no pass interference, and that means it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 31.
Well, I wondered because the Benilde receiver was quite a bit out of bounds here. Maybe we're going to see
uncatchable, maybe?
Yeah, uncatchable.
As that was aired out, and Young.
He's running out of bounds.
He's running out of bounds. That's a good call. That's a good pickup of the flag.
That is a good pickup
by the refs.
I wondered about that going in when I saw him running out of bounds like that, but good pickup.
3rd and 10 now from the Totino-Grace 31. You got to figure 2-down territory here for the Red Knights. Yoga Raja to pass over the middle, crossing route. Got it to Strader, tackled at the 20-yard line, right at the spot, but it should be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, and if you're Benilde now, you got to have a real sense of urgency, which really shouldn't be that much out of character from their offense. They like to run that NASCAR anyway, but you want to get the ball back to the official, huddle up, and let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Strong safety. Vince Zurich makes the stop for Totino-Grace. 1st and 10 now from the 20, right on the edge of the red zone. Washington through a big hole, stiff arms a man. He's shoved out of bounds at the 7-yard line. A nice gain of 13.
Very nice.
And I like, Joe, that they haven't abandoned the run.
I like that too. I was just going to say, I like the changeup. And Totino with a light box there. They're only really rushing 4. They really only had about 4 guys in the box, I think. Maybe
Good
5 at
stiff
the
arm
most.
On Tyler Hand. Washington breaking tackles, reaching for the goal line.
Did he get there?
No, they're going to mark him short. Down at the half-yard line. Washington showing those powerful legs, keeping him moving.
Yep.
As he broke out of the tackle of Theo Thomas.
That's a weight room run right there.
Yeah,
Bill.
it really was.
Wasn't it? Here comes the push play.
Push play. Touchdown. Benilde-St. Margaret's Nirvan Yogaraja gets shoved across. And Benilde-St. Margaret's cashes in a 96-yard drive, Joe.
Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah, you can't forget where that drive started. Now, do you go for 2 now, or do you wait later? You kick the extra point now? Let's see. They're keeping Yoga Raj on the field.
I would think you would kick the extra point. Although I guess at this point, then you need 2 scores.
Right.
They'll go for 2, trailing by 9.
Oh.
That play all kinds of off.
Yeah.
As Strader and Brown were both in the area, but no one was close.
Not at all. That wasn't that. Yeah, that did not.
So Benilde cashes in on the Bush push. And they've actually scored the last 2 touchdowns. It was at one point a 28-7 game. Now it's 28-19.
Oh, yeah, here comes Benilde.
As you see, that was just, and I don't know if the 2 receivers just bumped into each other or what, but that was a 96-yard drive, 14 plays, 96 yards, but it did take 4 minutes and 50 seconds off the clock.
Yep, very nice.
So not the worst thing if you're Totino-Grace.
No. I'm just wondering though, if you kick the extra point, then then of course you have to go for 2 the next time. I don't know. I think I would have voted for let's kick the extra point, go down by 8, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I would have said then, and because then maybe if things are a little different, Totino's a little more chaotic or a little tighter.
Yep.
At the end, if
because we're in a situation now where it's still a 2-score game.
Right, exactly. But at least you kind of put yourself within that 1 score.
Right.
You know you're going to need it at some point. It's just a matter of when you choose to do it. And I think Sean McMenemy would rather know, okay, this is what I need. I need 2 scores.
Yep.
As Parker has it teed up. Kind of a short
a little more of a
kick,
short pooch.
Fielded at the 22, and Kuharski will just fall down at the 30.
Not a bad idea to kick away from Keaton, though.
Yes,
and
no doubt about
especially if you're going to kick a line drive to him, as they did before. So
more good starting field position. Think about this, Joe. The worst starting field position for the Eagles tonight, their own 27.
Oh.
Every other starting field position has been outside their own 30.
That's huge.
And several times it's been outside their own 35. So yeah, they have had short fields with which to work. As Brands goes under center after Person got his turn, he'll give to the first man through. That's Hill, 2 yards on the modest run.
And if I'm Benilde, I think at this point I'm going to take my chances and load the box, Bill.
Yes.
I'm going to load the box. Maybe
you have all 3 timeouts remaining, too.
Yeah, all 3 timeouts. 7, maybe even 8 in the box. Go man. Totino's not splitting a lot of guys out anyway, and just kind of roll the dice here.
Well, Totino will surely use as much of the play clock as they can.
They are splitting 2 guys out, though.
High formation behind Brands. Turns, gives. Kuharski, tracked down from behind. But, yeah, you do, I think, have to sell out at this point to stop the run. Jay Kellogg, who has a sack tonight, in on the stop.
I agree, and force Totino to do something they don't want to do, which is throw the football.
Well, they definitely are poised to pitch their first 3 and out of the game right here, and what a time it would be for that.
Yep.
Trailing by 9 with less than 6 minutes remaining. 3rd and 7 now from the 33. Turn and give it to Kuharski. Big hole and a great tackle coming in. Eddie Wolf, maybe his 9th, 10th tackle of the game, trips up Kuharski a yard short of the line to gain.
Just stopped him short. Yeah.
Really impressive, the pursuit to the football, and that was a really important tackle.
Boy, it really was.
Gain of 6, leaves it 4th and 1, and sure enough, Totino-Grace is going to kick up by 9. Will Brands out there, though, so you always got to watch for the fake.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, Brands actually the up back. Smith gets a punt away, and it's a beauty. And it takes a Totino-Grace roll, and Totino-Grace will down it at the 2. Tanner Smith with the biggest play on special teams of the game for Totino-Grace.
Benilde has them right where they want them, right?
Talk about flipping the field. Oh, boy. Just right after Benilde has a 13 play, 96-yard drive, Totino-Grace pins them even further back, and the Red Knights will start at their own 2.
Not exactly sure why you wouldn't have a deep guy on punt return.
I think he kicked it over him, or did they not have one?
I don't think I saw one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and those punts, the way it's spinning, they took a great roll.
Oh, my goodness.
Great coverage by the Eagles team, and now Nirvan Yogaraja and the boys have some work to do.
Boy, they sure do.
Again, with disadvantageous field position and a hungry defensive line. If Totino-Grace doesn't jump off sides.
Looks like they're poised to rush 3 and drop 8.
Yep.
No, they're bringing the house.
Trying to get it out quick and does to Khalif Brown. Stiff arms Josiah Young, who tackles him, and Yogaraja down injured immediately as he is taken down at the 11.
Right away. Right away, Khalif. Really didn't move much after the tackle.
And you got to feel for Benilde because previously they've had some starting field position issues due to penalties.
I'm not sure if that's a shoulder.
Just got hit in the gut maybe or something. Yeah, I don't know. But hopefully, I mean, the Red Knights can ill afford more injury woes.
Right.
As he seems to be okay.
He is up on his feet.
Yep.
He'll have to take, one play off. Yeah.
So they do get it out to their own 11. They need Khalif Brown, though, in this game. Inside of 5 minutes left to go.
I wouldn't be afraid to throw the football at 2nd and 1 and then come back and, if you have to, come back and pick up that first down because they need some chunk yardage here. They need some chunk plays.
Yeah, you could always take a shot, right?
Yeah. Or, come back to one of their patented mesh, crossing plays.
Those have been real successful tonight. Washington gets the call, breaks a couple tackles, bounces it outside. Josiah Young finally shoves him out of bounds.
And
Young
gets out of bounds.
Giving up some weight to Washington, but he does get out of bounds to stop the clock. And more importantly, he picks up a first down on that run of 11 yards.
Nice job by Washington to shirk that tackle, wasn't it? I mean, just, great job. As you said, he's a load.
He is. He's just so, that center of gravity. But they do feature him, I think, more than I thought they would in this passing offense.
Yeah, same here.
And that's a good thing. They basically do two wide on each side, and then from the shotgun, always with Washington to the right or left of Yogaraja. Nirvan back to pass. Airs it out, and it's over the head. In fact,
dangerous.
Zurich was closer to it than Strider, so Strider almost played defensive back there.
Yeah, he almost had to. Yeah.
But
I don't mind the call.
Yeah, not at all.
Going vertical like that, but yeah.
See if Khalif Brown can return to the lineup here shortly. 2nd and 10 from their own 22. But think about how much time they're taking up, even having to get out of their own shadow of their own end zone.
The incomplete pass helps them.
Yogaraja setting up the bubble screen to Strider, who dives forward across the 30, right at the 30 for a gain of 8.
Yep. Now you got to get the ball. Yep. Get the ball to the ref and let's go.
3rd and 2. They'll move quickly as they blocked up this play pretty well, and a good job by Strider Strader really, to just turn it upfield and get what he could.
2-by-2 situation here.
Yogaraja slings it to the 40, and he connects with Guggenberger.
Yep.
Another gain of 10, just enough for a first down.
Yep. And be ready to snap that ball. Their intermediate short game is very, very nice. They do a very good job with it.
At one point, Totino-Grace was up 28-7, but the momentum is squarely with the red and white right now. Over the middle and nearly intercepted by Josiah Young.
Dangerous.
As he was looking for his intended receiver, Max Kloss.
Yeah, you don't want to be late over the middle. That's a formula for not for success.
No, that's a recipe for disaster.
It is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Great call.
Sean McMenemy very pleased with his wideout core, as talked to his receiving core.
Yep.
And he talked to us pregame. From the 41-yard line, 2nd and 10. Red Knights on the march. Yogaraja looking left, throwing right, and he airs it out well over his intended receiver, Strider. Zurich was with him step for step.
He really was. And at this point, there's really no mystery, right? They've got their offense is kind of built around the pass anyway, but they've got to. They're pinning their ears back, as they say, on the Totino side.
Khalif Brown is out there, but they go the other way, and it's intercepted, picked off by Tyler Hand at the 40.
Just overthrew it. Just juiced it a little too far.
Hand makes the play, the 2nd interception of the game for this Eagles defense.
Yeah.
And
could be the dagger.
Couple first downs, that should do it.
It should.
As you see here, Yogaraja looking for Kloss, and he just overthrew him, like you said.
Yeah.
And Hand was waiting.
A lot of times on this, you kind of overstride or you don't.
He just didn't put the requisite touch on that ball.
No, he didn't. And he's been really good at those type of throws all night long, really. Finding the holes in that zone defense.
So it's might be Justin Kuharski time. He fumbled that on the exchange, but he fell on it. Fortunately for Totino-Grace.
That was that was an interesting second or two there on that handoff. Benilde would have said thank you very much on that one.
That would have been some gift. As it is, the Red Knights need a stop with the clock ticking inside of 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
I would say if you stuff them here, you call timeout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Otherwise, Totino-Grace will keep milking that clock until it's too late.
Yeah, they sure will.
Brands turns, gives to Keaton. He's got a big hole and a burst. Markel Keaton trying to run away from the Red Knights defense to the 20-10 touchdown.
There's that little inside, like we talked about before too. They keep pounding, and finally, something's gonna pop.
59 yards on that pop. Markel Keaton finds the end zone and salts this one away for Totino-Grace.
Just like earlier in the game too, on some of Keaton's run, the defense has angles on him, Bill, but he's got some acceleration. He really does.
He does, yep.
And that should probably do it.
Yes. Markel Keaton, the junior running back, whose offensive coordinator said, hey, he's a player to watch, as Smith bangs the extra point through to make it 35-19 late here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's
59-yard touchdown run for Markel Keaton.
Really nice job of right there. Number 70, Owen Swedberg really turned on that block.
The seal, right?
Yeah, and just a nice seal block.
Swedberg, a wrestler, 6'4", 313.
Oh, my.
So he's got the size that you want in a right tackle, and he cleared the way there for Markel Keaton to
sure did.
Put the finishing touches on this win, which will see the Eagles improve to 3-1 on the season, and they bounce back from their 20-3 loss to Hutchinson last week. Pretty impressive wins on the road at Simley, 17-0, 35-19 so far here.
And really, I think in the second half against Hutch, they played Hutch pretty tough in the second
They
half.
did, yeah. 4 turnovers, including a couple fumbles inside the 5. And it's funny, the Hutch coach apparently said to Totino-Grace as he was leaving that, congratulating him and said, we'll see you in November.
May see you in the playoffs.
We'll see you in November. So be a lot of fun if those two teams met up again in the Class 4 playoffs. Senior night on the Benilde side is not going to end the way they wanted it to. The Red Knights will host SMB next and then play at Holy Angels. So for Sean McMenemy in district play, these are 2 big games coming up.
Yep.
You've got to be able to bounce back from this loss on senior night and try to regroup.
He seemed pretty confident, though, didn't he? About the remaining schedule.
Yeah, he did. He thought their toughest games. Thought they'd played maybe their toughest games yet. As a flag flying here, Khalif Brown makes the catch.
Nice ball.
Substitution infraction, I think. Meanwhile, for Totino-Grace, they were number 3, and then after the Hutch loss, dropped to number 7. They will host Holy Angels, and then a lot of similar teams, obviously, the rest of the way. But they'll host Holy Angels before 2 road games. Ineligible receiver downfield, the actual call.
Yeah.
Then they host SMB in Orono before finishing the season at home against Wilmer.
Orono, always tough, always competitive.
Yeah, Spartans are
Holy Angels having kind of maybe a little tougher year for them, I think, right?
Yes.
Holy Angels. Yeah.
So 1st and 15 now from the 15 with 2:36 left.
Boy, that wiped away a really nice little play there.
Yeah, it was. Yoga Raja flips it downfield, and what a diving interception made by Will Brands. One-handed diving to the turf. His 2nd pick of the game. And he has been everywhere. Probably the MVP of the game tonight, Joe.
I think so.
Incredible from Brands to seal it for Totino-Grace.
Well, if he doesn't go on to play quarterback, I think he has a future as a corner or a free safety, that's for sure.
Well, that's what they said he's being recruited as.
Okay.
The ball instincts, though, to just sniff this out. Yoga Raja clearly does not want to run. He could here.
No.
But he just tries to flip it. And absolutely, I don't know that if that would have necessarily stood up with replay, but we'll give it to him because that is a special play.
That really was.
3rd interception of the night forced by this Totino-Grace defense.
Yeah, Yoga Raja unfortunately kind of, sailed that one again, but Brands made a heck of an interception.
Hill bowling his way down inside the 30. And we'll see if Totino tries to pound in another score. Remember, they won the last time these two teams met 41-10. It's 35-19 here tonight.
Yeah, Benilde definitely made it more competitive tonight, I think. And wonder if we're going to see that little inside. Well,
Could just be straight up the gut now.
It could be.
Kuharski.
It could be. I was wondering if they might show that little inside reverse again that they've had so much success with.
Yeah, and a timeout taken by Benilde. Stops the clock with 1:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Joe, what positives, if you're Totino-Grace, do you take from tonight's win?
Well, well, for one thing, I'm not exactly sure, in the previous games, but you've got a game breaker in Keaton that you can really count on to do a lot of different things. You also, I think, have to know that you've got a backup quarterback.
Yeah, Person's not bad if you need him. If you need him,
if Brands gets dinged up or whatever, and you need to spell him or whatever. I think that's the other take. And of course, Kuharski, is just such a bellwether back for them, and that little inside reverse play of theirs. Yeah.
They don't ask Brands to do too much as quarterback either.
No, they don't.
Hill skips through a hole. Tackled shy of the 25.
And they're just grinders, aren't they? I mean, Totino's just a bunch of grinders. And as I said, if you don't get them out of their game, if you get up, maybe if you're fortunate to get up a couple scores, maybe three scores is probably, 2 scores probably isn't enough, but 3 scores, they're just going to grind you.
Of course, these teams in the same district, Skyway Yellow matchup. Jay Anderson in his 4th year, Sean McMenemy in his 3rd. So big win in district play for Totino-Grace on 3rd and 2. Less than a minute left. Kuharski will pick it up.
Yeah, just the old power formation. I'm having a little deja vu here because when I coached at St. Thomas, we saw a lot of this from some of their great teams, with Jeff Ferguson as the head coach back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And, if it ain't broke, I guess, right? Stay with it. That's their MO.
They're again threatening to score here late. Yeah, it really did turn out to be. It's in the high 60s, slight breeze.
Yep, beautiful evening.
As we are going to go to the victory formation for Totino-Grace. Brands kneels it down. He had a defensive touchdown, an offensive touchdown, 2 interceptions.
And that'll do it.
The Totino-Grace defense, after giving up a big pass play early, buckles down. They force 3 interceptions. The ground game goes over 200 yards. And the Eagles come in to St. Louis Park on senior night and earn a hard-fought 35-19 victory over Benilde-St. Margaret's. Joe, your final thoughts on today's win?
Well, as I said, I think let's start with Benilde. I think Benilde has some things they can build on. They certainly have a weapon in Khalif Brown. Quarterback can sling it a little bit, and as Coach McMenemy said, they do have the receivers. But Totino's a tough out. They're going to be a tough out, especially with that run game.
Yeah, they look like a number 7 team in Class 4A, a top 10 team to be reckoned with as they bounce back from their only loss of the season to move to 3-1 with a nice win tonight on the road here in St. Louis Park. So that'll do it for us here from the McQuinn Athletic Complex on CCX. For Director Isaac Rice, my broadcast partner Joe Basil, and our entire CCX crew, thanks for watching this presentation of high school football. Again, the final, Totino-Grace comes on the road and beats Benilde-St. Margaret's 35-19.